Hello my lovelies and welcome back to my channel. Of course, it's your girl Erin, and for all of those who are new here, welcome. I love to do all things fiber art related, crochet, knitting. We want to get into rug tufting later this year, but today's going to be really fun because I'm going to do a massive yarn unboxing. This year I was invited to do Hobie's No Shades of Grey campaign, which is going to be hosted now in January and February. Now the whole theme of this challenge is to incorporate as much color and fun and spice into your project, because although we have the winter blues, okay, the gloomy January rainy cold blues, we still want to be able to add some vibrancy to whatever craft that we're working on. So I'm gonna go ahead and start unboxing this massive package from Hobie. Thank you guys so much for sending this over and for inviting me and asking me to take part in the No Shades of Grey campaign. So let's just go ahead and tear into these bad boys. My gosh, right off of the bat, look at these colors. Can you guys tell? I love color, I love texture. So I've decided to pick out a handful of different yarn fibers and just different lines of yarn because I would really love to create something, again, very colorful, very unique, tons of different textural design going on. The first fiber that I wanted to pick out for the No Shades of Grey campaign is their Friends Extra Fine Merino wool. Now, again, this is a 100% superwash merino wool, and this is listed as a #2 sport weight yarn. This stuff feels so scrumptious and so delectable. I think you guys could make so many different projects with this type of fiber just because it's a really great wearable type of fiber. So this is in shade color number 55. It's a really gorgeous, very pinky rosy shade. Next up, again with the Friends Extra Fine Merino wool, I have this really gorgeous burnt umbery, and this one is in colorway number 17. So gorgeous. I love this for fall time just because it really screams like earthy, warm tones. The next two color options that I have colorway number 88 and number 109, and just look at these colors. Although this isn't really screaming like winter vibes, this definitely has more of a springy type of shade, which I definitely love when you're trying to implement a little bit more color into your project. So here they are up close. So stunning. I'm really impressed with just how vibrant they have been able to make these fibers. And then the very last colorway that I have in this line is shade number 10. So we definitely have a little bit more of a mocha, deeper earth tony neutral shade. So let's go ahead and show these off. I think these are so stunning, and just on their own, this would make a really gorgeous, colorful project. This does come with 50 grams or roughly 180 yards per skein or donut of yarn. I like that this line of yarn is very straightforward and kind of just like your basic everyday type of fiber. Again, this is superwash, but as you can see, there is no fleecing, there's no pilling. It's just very straightforward. And I feel like a superwash yarn like this one is gonna keep me nice and comfy and toasty, but it's also gonna be very lightweight just because it is a sport weighted yarn. So this is gonna quickly become some of my new favorite staple yarns in my growing collection. Let's go ahead and move on to the next fiber that I've been watching on their website for a very long time. So I'm really excited to show this off to you guys. This next fiber is the Hobie Sweet Tweed. And as you guys can probably already tell, this definitely has a mohair type of vibe, has a ton of halo and fuzz coming off of it, and it just adds a really gorgeous textural quality to your projects. So with this Sweet Tweed, it's actually 40% acrylic, 21% polyamide, 13% mohair, 13% wool, 9% cotton, and 4% polyester. So to me, this is kind of like a kitchenette style fiber, pretty much grabbing every fiber option in the cabinet and throwing it all into one type of fiber. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is labeled as a #0 lace weight yarn. So it is very thin. So I've gone ahead and pulled you guys up a little finger swatch of what one strand of the Sweet Tweed is looking like. So this really gorgeous bright magenta shade is in colorway number 4, and then this really gorgeous like soft muted pink shade is colorway number 1. And as the name suggests, with Sweet Tweed, you are getting a tweedy effect within this yarn. So they're really gorgeous, vibrant pops of tweedy little nubs placed all throughout this mohair single-stranded yarn. This stuff also feels very cloud-like, so soft. So these are the first two colors. I also decided to pick out a few other shades because you guys know me and I can't hold back, especially when it comes to a fuzzy mohair yarn. So this has a much more vibrant, kind of like a neon purpley shade, and this one is in colorway number 6. Again, we have those really gorgeous tweedy nubs in there with little bright pops of color. I'm absolutely fangirling over this. The other shade I also decided to pick out is colorway number 8, a really beautiful deep blue oceany shade, but you do still have these really vibrant pops of like pink and orange and white throughout this one donut. So this is really gorgeous as well. And then the very last shade in Sweet Tweed is this really deep navy, almost purpley type of shade. This is in colorway number 7, in case you guys are interested. I almost forgot that I have one other color selection. This is in color number 5, a very bright neon magenta shade as well. So this is what the Sweet Tweed collection is looking like. I would already have to say that right off of the bat. Some of my favorite mohair yarn. This stuff feels amazing, and I love that it's gonna add a nice halo to my project. So this is Sweet Tweed, and in case you guys haven't seen it yet, I did just recently launch a poncho tutorial on my channel using 100% mohair yarn. So if you guys would like to pick up some of this Sweet Tweed, I think this would translate so beautifully into a mohair flowy poncho, or even a very light weighted like cardigan if you guys even wanted to double strand or triple strand with this yarn. Just look at these shades all mixed together. I think a color blocked poncho is in my near future. So if I have enough of this left over, I might even make a secondary project. Now, I only have 2 other fibers that I wanted to showcase you guys for the No Shades of Grey campaign. And kind of similar to the Sweet Tweed yarn, I wanted to pick up a much more thicker and much more dense version of a tweedy yarn, just again to add a little bit more texture into my project. So this next line is the Hobie Tweed Delight. And as you can tell, this does look to be between a number 4 or a number 5 chunky weighted yarn. This definitely has more of a roving style. As you can see, some sections of the yarn are plied a little bit thinner, and then some are a little bit thicker. So this is gonna add a really nice, kind of like a density variation to the project. So this gorgeous Tweed Delight is in colorway number 16. Kind of looks like a unicorn ball, lots of color. Look at all of these rainbow tweedy nubs. The fiber content is 85% wool, 10% acrylic, and 5% viscose. So I think that viscose is the little tweedy nubs, but this color all in itself would make such a gorgeous like rainbowy cardigan or sweater or even a scarf. This would look really cute. So again, this is colorway number 16. And then because I had so much color going on, I did want to implement just a little bit of neutral selections to kind of break up all of the chunky color. So this next shade in their Tweed Delight is in colorway number 20. It's a much more kind of everyday standard beigey shade, but it does have these like neutral gray and black and white tweedy nubs mixed in. So this in itself would also make a really gorgeous vest if you guys are interested in knitting or crocheting a slightly thicker, warmer, chunkier type of cardigan or vest and whatnot. Now, another shade I've been pining over is this all white marbly shade. So again, this would make for a really gorgeous everyday type of garment just because it's so neutral. This is in colorway number 1 with gray and black tweedy nubs. But for this being a wool fiber, this feels very comparable to the Friends Extra Fine Merino. These both feel very scrumptious and soft, but I will note that with the Tweed Delight, there is a good amount of fuzzing and halo. And because this is kind of like a single ply roving style fiber, that you definitely want to hand wash your garment with this, just because I am worried about this holding up in the washer and the dryer. So always take really cautious care when it comes to washing and drying your garments. The Tweed Delight is definitely a wash by hand. And the very last color selection for Tweed Delight that I wanted to show you guys is colorway number 19. Again, we have so much bright, crazy color going on that I really wanted to mix in darker earth tony shades. So this is kind of screaming like chocolate bar, chocolate hot cocoa mocha, but it does have, again, really gorgeous bright pops of tweedy nubs in there. You got some orange, some yellow, and even a little bit of lime green. So don't sleep on the Tweed Delight. I think this is such a fantastic type of fiber. I'm actually mistaken. I have one other colorway, and this has to be the colorway that I've been watching the longest on Hobie's website, just because of how vibrant this is. I think on their website, this is called Pickles. But if you guys are interested, this is in colorway number 21, kind of a mixture between a mossy and a lime green shade. And they actually have a pattern on their website using this pickle shade. It's like a grandpa oversized cardigan, and I think it is absolutely stunning. It's to die for. So let's go ahead and show off the Tweed Delight color selection. This is what we've got going on. And again, I keep saying it, but I feel like just these 5 shades mixed together would make a really gorgeous semi-neutral pastel-y type of project. But you already know I'm gonna be mixing and meshing all of these fibers and colors together. So this is Tweed Delight, huge fan already. And with this number 4 worsted weight Tweed Delight, you are getting 50 grams or roughly 109 yards per donut. So I feel like that's pretty average, pretty standard. These donuts are so cute. The very last fiber option that I have to show off to you guys, I only picked out 2 shades in their woody tweed. Now this is another really unique and interesting type of fiber, and just looking at the basic construction of this, although it has, I think, a 2-ply, it does have somewhat of a textural ply, so it kind of looks crimpled or crinkled. And I really like this little touch of texture added into this woody tweed line. Now to give you guys some information, this is actually a 100% recycled fiber option for all of my sustainable stitchers out there. This is comprised of 70% recycled wool and 30% recycled viscose. So 100% recycled option right here. This is also labeled as a number 3 lightweight or DK weighted yarn. So on the ball, I would honestly have to say that this looks geared a little bit more towards a number 2 sport weight. Everybody's different, everybody labels their yarn differently, but that is just my own personal opinion. This is what one single strand of the woody tweed is looking like, and you can really see that crimpled effect on there. That is so unique, and I love when fibers have a little bit of an extra textural design to it. So the 2 color options that I have for you guys in the woody tweed line, I have shade number 02, number 2. This is a really gorgeous, again, everyday neutral, earth tony, sandy shade. And then this deeper, very like dark cocoa chocolate shade. This is in colorway number 13. So as I mentioned, I did want some more everyday neutral options to get paired along with all of the bright, vibrant colors. And as you can tell, these are much more of a hefty donut compared to the Tweed Delight. I would have to say that these are almost 3 times as large as this little donut right here. So with the Tweed Delight, you are also getting 100 grams per donut or ball of yarn, which roughly translates to 382 yards of yarn in one donut, which is so great if you guys are trying to make larger options or larger projects such as a blanket, a cardigan, a sweater, what have you. You probably only need between 3 to 4 donuts of yarn, so that's going to be a really great option for you guys as well. So that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this massive Hobie yarn haul. Please feel free to let me know down below in the comments which wearable clothing item I should be making for the No Shades of Grey campaign. I definitely want to hear you guys out and see what you guys have to say. So now that you guys have seen all of the options, all of the colors, let me know what you guys would like to see me make down below. I believe the final project is due towards the last week of February, so I do still have a little bit of time, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing to what you guys have to say. I love taking part in these Hobie campaigns just because it really forces me to pick out and select different fiber options that I'm not typically geared towards, and it really just opens my eye up to new fiber options, and it also allows for me to be able to showcase to you guys different fiber options if you guys are interested in it. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and thank you to Hobie for allowing me to participate. I'll be speaking to you all very soon. Take care. Bye.